and lead off with Patrick Saunders. Go ahead, Patrick.
Good afternoon, buddy.
Hi, Patrick.
How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. I've got a couple for you.
Okay.
Starting off with CJ's home run last night. I believe it was 482 feet, I think is what they said.
That ball was crushed.
Yeah, you've been going to Dodger Stadium for years and years and years. Have you ever seen one hit that far at that ballpark?
I've seen some to right. I'm trying to think if I've seen, I've seen some well up in the bleachers in left center. I mean, that was over their bullpen, over that, they changed some of the, the look out there with, new construction and so forth. But, that's one of the longest I've ever seen for sure.
Down on the field, could you hear it? In other words, I know certain batters have certain sounds when they make contact.
That was a great sound. And off the bat, I mean, you knew it was a homer. You just didn't know how far it was going to go. So, that was a long one. That was mammoth. I don't know, where's that line up this year as far as longest?
I should have looked that up and I didn't. I know it may be, I'm sure it's probably top 5. It may be the number 1. I'm not sure. Somebody else might be able to tell you.
Yeah, Rob right here told me it's number 4.
4, okay.
But as far as it might be the longest here at this park, we could probably find that out too. I mean, that was crushed.
I know you were a believer in CJ all the way back to spring training when he hit, I think, 5 during Cactus League, if I'm not mistaken. Was it simply a matter, buddy, of him after that knee injury last year, just finding his swing again? And you always knew that power was in there?
Well, the power's always been in there, even back from when we were together in Anaheim in 2016. He was obviously blocked by Albert, for a number of years in Anaheim. But the power showed up in Tampa. The power showed up in Minnesota. Last year, the COVID year, the 60 games, he only played 9 games before his knee injury. So, the power's been there. There's over 100 plus homers in there. I don't know for sure the exact total, but he's shown power. And I thought, the way our roster was looking this off season and how it was going to look in spring training, that I thought it was a great fit for CJ and for us to bring that type of power potential, onto our team. And again, there was enough track record for me to believe in him, and from knowing him, and then doing our homework this off season. Jeff in the front office and doing their due diligence through the player, and phone calls that a few of us made to his past managers, his hitting coaches, just to verify what I thought, what the front office, what they were hearing. It just made just a lot of sense to us to get him in the fold and see what we got. We were a little concerned about the knee, whether it was going to, be ready to go. But, we sort of monitored him in spring training. Our medical staff stayed on top of it. CJ did a good job of rehabbing this winter, and not coming in too hot in spring training and trying to do too much. But we helped him there in his workload. So, between Josh and, Greg Bird and some other guys that we had at first base in spring training, CJ was able to, work into it. And then when we made the decision for him to, be on the team, we felt really confident where he was physically, and ready to see what he could do during the year.
We all know, of course, that he's a pending free agent. And I know it's not your job to get into negotiations. However, if you were going to make a pitch to CJ about why he should remain with the Rockies going forward in a nutshell, what would you tell him?
Well, again, I think that it goes back to the fit. I think this is a great fit for him. He wanted an opportunity to get a chance to be an everyday player, to get a lot of at bats. And, I assured him he would be given that opportunity. He would have to earn it, which he said he totally understood. And he said, if I have to earn a spot, that's fine, because he has confidence in his ability. So moving forward, I think he likes what's happening here. I think he likes Denver. He likes everything connected with, what we have going on downstairs as far as his teammates, the players, the future potential of the group, the training staff, the hitting coaches, the clubhouse environment, the culture, all those things. He, probably better question for him to answer, but from what I've been told and what he's told me, he loves it here. So again, all players, they want to be part of successful seasons, successful organizations, and they form their own opinion. But I think he's in a place mentally that he feels this could be a potentially good fit for him. And I would just echo a lot of the things that I've told you, that what he's already noticed.
Cool. Two more from me, buddy, really quickly. I know you talked about Carlos postgame last night, but I did want to follow up. How impressed were you? And I know Nick asked you sort of this question, but how impressed were you in that tight game in the ninth inning that he went after the Dodgers with that changeup? And he told us later that he knew that they were probably looking fastball. They know him very well. Right. And he was not afraid to throw the change. How impressed were you with that?
Very impressed. And as you know, and I've said it before, in division, not a lot of secrets anymore with guys who've been around. Carlos has been, obviously now into his fifth year. There's plenty of at bats against the Dodgers. They know him. They know his stuff. So again, it's always a game of adjustments. And I have a great deal of faith in his changeup, and so does Carlos. Along with the slider and obviously the high end velocity. But you got to make pitches. I mean, you can't keep the ball, out over the plate. You can't pitch in bad counts. So I like the fact that he was able to, throw the changeup when he did get behind the count and throw it for called strikes. Out of the hand, it looked like a fastball, and he had, a number of guys out front. But that was impressive to have that feel for a change in the most critical of moments. And that was pretty impressive. Not a lot of secrets there.
And Kyle Freeland mentioned last night that the team is looking to spoil other team seasons. For you, what is the attitude for the ball club for the remaining 5 weeks of the regular season? Well,
I've mentioned this, many times over the last couple of weeks. I think for me, we look at it as, we're trying to win every game we can. Our expectation as a club is to improve, get better, see our players grow, see players meet challenges that we put in front of them, some individual challenges, whether it's hitting mechanics, pitching mechanics, some statistical stuff. We hope that some of these challenges are met. I like the fact that, we're going to be playing a number of kind of contenders here in the next 5 weeks. It's a great barometer for our team to play against certain teams, Dodgers being one of them. But just to play for the, sure definition of being a spoiler, I never say that. I want to win games because I want to, build our foundation of good baseball. So I've said this before, we're going to play the schedule 162 games and try to win all of them when the ball game starts. So and if teams get in our way of trying to get better, whether they're the Dodgers or the Giants or Phillies or Braves or whoever, that's on the schedule, that's fine. But we're going to play our game to win and do things that, we expect to do based on our internal conversations. And that's how we go about it.
Raimel Tapia making his way back eventually, and Connor Joe obviously feeling really comfortable in the leadoff spot. What are some of the things that you have to weigh and consider about? Obviously, Tapia kind of found himself once he was in that leadoff spot. If they're both available to you, what is the decision-making process like for you there?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good question, Drew, and fair. And something we've talked about when Tap does return, which will probably be Monday, if everything goes well tonight and tomorrow. They can both still play. They can both still play in American League games coming up with the DH Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see what we do there. But Tapia has a lot of experience in center field as well, right? I mean, he's a minor league center fielder. He's played some center field with us. It probably gives us our best offensive outfield if Tapia is swinging the bat like he can, and Connor continues to swing the bat like he can, and Charlie, his recent surge in the second half continues. That's a possibility. Where they hit in the lineup, Tapia could lead off and Connor could hit second, or continue on with Connor leading off and have Tap hit second. Depends on how we want to look at that. But we talk about those things, and I'm glad you brought it up because it's a really fair question. It's a good question.
Since you mentioned it in the outfield, we had talked about Tapia's defense, I feel like a couple of weeks ago. Defensive run saves, really likes him in left field. I don't know if that matches quite what you've been seeing in terms of his progress, but if he is playing better, is that something you feel confident in can translate well to center field?
Well, outfielders will tell you that, for them, center field is the easiest position to play, right? You see the ball off the bat a little cleaner. Ball doesn't spin as much. The only issue, that concerns us is, our ballpark, which is spacious, right? Yeah. And you need, probably the best defender you can put out there. I think in the history of Coors Field, that's always been a priority of Rocky teams, is to have that, go get them center fielder. Tap's fine as a, solid outfielder, as some of the metrics have been showing. But, on a scouting scale, he's probably not our best defensive outfielder. But, that's where you got to, the give and take of the line.